to you mentioned pound for pound
Yep.
earlier. I don't really. It's such a subjective thing.
Yeah.
That anyone can have anyone in their top 10 pound for pound. But I'm just kind of curious from your standpoint as a former fighter.
Yeah, that sounded crazy.
It sounded real crazy, but it sounds good.
Yeah, at the same time,
Good.
yeah, both ways.
But as a former fighter, like, what do you actually consider pound for pound meaning? Like, what does that mean to you? Is that, I mean, we're just talking about skill, we talking about resume, we talking about all of that. I mean, how do you view a pound for pound list?
I look at the pound for pound list from a track record standpoint. Not even necessarily from a record standpoint, because some guys may have 3 or 4 losses, but you got to look at the whole track record. Okay, he had these 2 losses early. These were against 50-50 fights, but look at the three wins that he's strung together since that loss. I think ultimately what it boils down to me is a track record of fighting the best and beating the best over an extended period of time. Doesn't mean you have to have all wins, but there has to be a consistent track record where I've got more wins against big name fighters in 50-50 matchups, if you will, than I do losses. The losses can be justified. Even if you got clipped and knocked out, let me see something after that. Man, this dude went on an 8-fight tear. 4 of those 8 guys, top tier guys. 2 of them were contenders, 2 of them were champions. One of those guys he beats a future Hall of Fame. It's consistency, it's track record. And it shouldn't be about popularity. It shouldn't even be about skill. Because guys get it different kind of ways. Some guys don't have, I don't want to say, they don't have, flashy skill. Anybody that's considered on that list, they got skill. But it's a different kind of way. So if the list gets too subjective now, we don't have a real pound for pound champion or a real pound for pound top 10 list, because everything is subjective. The mark keeps getting moved. 1 year it's here, it's supposed to be here. Next year, we're gonna push it back. I like this, or this guy's really nice to me, so I think he should be. It can't be like that. That's a sacred list to be on. Those are the top 10 pound for pound fighters in the world. There shouldn't be a lot of movement on that list from year to year unless some guy falls off drastically or somebody makes a run drastically. Man, this young dude went from a contender to a look at the year he had. He beat 3 top guys this year, collected 2 or 3 belts. Hey, he needs to be, that type of thing. So I think it's track record, and I think it should be fighting the best and beating the best over a consistent amount of time, over a long period of time. That's what I think it should be, not popularity.
Do you feel like we have someone right now who kind of fits that mold? Because I'm not big on pound for pound lists, but I do know at one point I considered Floyd pound for pound number 1, and then after Floyd I considered you pound for pound number 1, just because of pretty much everything that you said. And then when I look at the names, like if I considered you pound for pound number 1, I would say, okay, well, how would he match up with this guy in these different weight classes? And if I felt like you came out on top each time, then you're my pound for pound number 1. Do you think we have someone like that, or is it still up for grabs right now?
I haven't looked at that list, since I retired.
Oh, so you still got your name at the top of that list?
Nah. I'm officially off the list, which is cool because I don't, I'm not in the discussion no more. I don't have to worry about where I should be, where I'm actually placed, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to give I guess I'll put it like this. I think you definitely got to have Terrence Crawford at the top. If not number 1, right there. Yeah, you got to have him at the top. I just like the way he's gotten down. I like the way he's taking care of business. He's not ducking or dodging. And he's beat everybody they put in front of him. And in most cases, he's knocked him out. And there's not a lot of people calling his name, and that's for a reason. Because they know. Like fighters know. You know? Fighters know. They know when they see a guy like, that's gonna be a tough one right there. So when you ask a fighter directly about a certain guy and they start talking about, oh, he should fight him first, or he should do the, you know, that's a sign. They're doing that for a reason. And anybody beneath that, I mean, some of that stuff is interchangeable. It's tough to say. That's why I try not to start rating guys, because it's tough. Some of it is subjective, you know? And I don't want to misplace somebody, you know? And they should be higher, or I have somebody higher that should be lower. It's tough to say, but I think if you don't have Terrence, number one, you got to have him pretty close to number one. And, you know, he's obviously overlooked in many cases. He's underrated, for sure. And but people don't realize that, just like in my case, like, being marginalized and minimized, like, that can create a monster. Yeah, it can create a monster. Especially when you see it over an extended period of time, you know? You either gonna complain about it, or you gonna go in the lab and get ready for war, and come out and show them why you should be rated higher than what you are. You know? And in many cases, when you are underrated or marginalized, you're in a situation where you can't really lose. So I'm already not getting the respect. I'm already not getting what I feel I deserve. So, like, I can't lose. I can't give an excuse to rate me where they rate me. So it creates a monster. It's a hard man to beat. And Terrence is gonna be a hard man to beat. Yeah. So I got him definitely at the top. And it's a lot of guys that are working their way up. It's a lot of guys, you know, this time next year, you know, we got to see. You know, 6 months from now. So it's a lot of movement, man. A lot of hungry fighters. A lot of young guys been on the way up. So, but I would definitely have to have him at the top or close to the top.
Yeah.